Hello, Wootton students. My name is Josh Freedman, and on today's COVID CareVid, I'm going to be interviewing Ms. Starr, the journalism and newspaper teacher and head of MCPS's only bi-weekly student publication, Common Sense. How are you doing today, Ms. Starr?
Good. Glad it's a Saturday.
Same here. So, to start off, what hobbies have kept you busy over quarantine?
Oh, I like to cook a lot. Not so much baking. I'm not a great baker, but a lot of cooking and reading. I read a lot of books. I probably read, I don't know, 50 books or so since March.
That sounds very relaxing. Are there any activities that you recommend students do during virtual learning?
I think anything that moves your body a little bit is good. Walking, yoga, running, whatever. I think we're so sedentary now as we're sitting looking at screens all day. So anything that gets you moving a little bit and stretching and getting your blood pumping a little bit, I think is really important.
Now, how, if at all, have lessons adapted to be more suitable for remote learning?
Oh my gosh, if at all, lessons have changed 100%. I don't know any teacher who is able to do anything they were doing before the same way. Um, I've been teaching, this is my 21st year, and it feels like my first year as a teacher because I am having to redo everything I've ever done and think through how to do it virtually. The planning for a 1 hour lesson is about 3 hours of work. It's it's 100% different.
Wow. And what do you expect of students as they take a journalism or newspaper course this year throughout virtual learning?
um, I expect my journalism students who are coming at it fresh to learn the basics of journalism, to learn how to write a lead, to how to do inverted pyramid, how to gather information and then select the most important information to deliver to our community, um, to try a bunch of different kinds of writing, news, features, opinions, sports, columns, try a little bit of everything, see what you like. Um, Learn the basic structures. For my newspaper students, I expect them to help me as we figure out how to move entirely virtual. We're so used to having 16 print issues a year, and now we're going to have maybe 3 or 4, and those are going to be magazines, which is different than we've ever done. So shifting to our new app and to our completely digital existence requires a tremendous amount from the students, and I expect help as we all figure it out together.
And how has our school paper and journalism as a whole been affected by the pandemic?
Oh, goodness. Well, I think at Wootton and other newspapers that I know of across the state of Maryland, whose advisors I'm in discussions with, the biggest differences are the kind of content that we can no longer cover, like sports. You know, sports was a fifth of our paper, and there is no sports to cover. So covering sports from the perspective of a story about an athlete and what they're doing to continue to learn those skills is a total shift from the kind of game coverage that we used to be doing. Um, and also getting photographs is really, really hard. We can't really go places ourselves and take photographs of events happening. I mean, the events aren't happening, and we also can't be close to people. So it's almost impossible to get our own photography, and so we're having to depend on our sources to provide it for us, which tends to be posed, not as good quality photographs as what we would take ourselves. So that's a real struggle. Um, I know that yearbooks across the country are having that same kind of problem. In terms of like what professional journalists are doing, I mean, I think they're probably having those same kind of challenges. You know, so much is canceled. So what do we cover, and how do we cover it? How do we be there when nobody's supposed to be anywhere?
Yeah. So, what are some helpful resources that students can take advantage of if they feel like they need more help than office hours can provide, or if they are unable to attend office hours?
Well, one really great resource is the Journalism Education Association, which normally you have to pay to have access to their resources, but they have moved a tremendous amount of resources outside of their paywall. So students and teachers have access now to all kinds of lessons about all kinds of journalism for free through the Journalism Education Association, which is a great resource. Many colleges that have journalism programs have done the same and put a lot of resources for interested students available. So you could go to, for example, the Philip Merrill School of Journalism at the University of Maryland and look at some of their resources. Also, professional newspapers like the Washington Post and the New York Times have lots of resources available for people now. Another great resource is Pointer, which is I think it's newsu.edu. Their website is all kinds of free resources that are classes you can take, and then quizzes you can use to quiz yourself on pretty much anything you could ever think of in the world of journalism. And that's all free too. You just have to create a free account. So I would suggest that for people who can learn a tremendous amount on their own just by spending a little bit of time working through that source.
Great, those sound really helpful. And last but not least, do you have any advice for students in general during these unprecedented times?
Oh, goodness. I think the most important thing is to be really patient with ourselves and whatever it is that we're feeling, and know that lots of other people are feeling those same things. I mean, we all are feeling so isolated and sad about what we can't do that we normally can do. And those are really negative feelings, so I think being patient with ourselves, that it's okay to feel those things and to share those with other people, and to get help if it gets to be too much. There's a lot of resources out there to provide support and help for people who just can't get past the baseline sadness that everyone is feeling right now and are feeling more profound sadness. It's really important to take care of ourselves and to be patient with ourselves and with others. That's that's what I'm working on.
That's really nice. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for your time and for being a part of COVID CareVids.
My pleasure. Thanks, Josh.
Thank you.